All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a timeless story that's especially powerful if you're just starting your career, or maybe even feeling a little lost. It's a simple parable, but trust me, it has a huge lesson about finding real meaning in what you do every day.
Does this look familiar? I bet it does. That top line, that's the plan, right? The smooth, straight path to success we all map out in our heads. And the bottom squiggle? Well, that's reality. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's full of twists and turns. It's no wonder we sometimes lose our way.
And when that messy reality hits, you can't help but ask yourself, why is it so hard to stay motivated, When things get tough and that goal you set seems to be getting further away, not closer, what is it that's supposed to keep us going? Well, here's an idea that might just change how you think about all of this. What if the problem isn't really your motivation, or even the goal itself? What if the real secret, the real challenge, is understanding your own identity, who you truly are, and what actually drives you? To really get our heads around this, we don't need some complex business theory. All we need is a simple, powerful story that people have been telling for generations. It's the parable of the Three Stonemasons. So, picture this. A traveler is walking through a town and comes across a huge construction site. He sees three stonemasons, all doing the exact same thing, chipping away at these massive blocks of stone under a hot sun. He gets curious, so he decides to walk up to each one and ask the same simple question. What are you doing? The first stonemason, he barely even looks up. He just sighs, wipes the sweat off his face, and kind of grumbles, I'm making a living. This is just a job. It's how I feed my family. You can tell, for him, the work is just a grind. It's a means to an end. And that's it. So the traveler moves on to the second guy. He asks him the same question. This man, he stands up a little straighter, puffs out his chest with pride, and says, I'm the best stonemason in the whole country, and I work for the best company. See, his focus is totally different. It's about his skill, his performance, his status. And then, finally, the traveler gets to the third stonemason. This guy's face is just full of energy. His eyes are bright. When he's asked the question, he breaks into a huge smile and says with this incredible passion, I am building a great cathedral. He sees it. He sees beyond the dust and the stone to this magnificent grand vision. So what's going on here? Three men doing the exact same work but living in three totally different worlds. Their answers show us three distinct ways we can look at our own work, as a job, as a career, or as a calling. Let's unpack that. This table breaks it down perfectly. So for the first guy, it's a job. His focus is just survival, getting that paycheck. His identity is wrapped up in what I do. Then you have the career mindset. The focus shifts to advancement, to status. And identity becomes about how I perform. But look at that third row, the calling. That's a whole other level. The focus is now purpose and contribution. And your identity? It's about who I am becoming. And here is the absolute key takeaway. The first two mindsets, the job and the career, they're fragile. Why? Because they depend completely on external things. A paycheck can disappear. A promotion might not come through. Your reputation could take a hit. But the third stonemason, his motivation comes from within. It is tied to his purpose, and that is something that no one can ever take away from him. Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually apply this to our own lives? Especially when our day-to-day work feels a lot more like chipping away at stones than building a cathedral. Well, this next part is a really practical guide for your own journey. You can start with this really simple three-step reflection. First, ask the job question. What am I doing? Just get really clear on your day-to-day tasks. Step 2, ask the career question. How am I performing? Take stock of your skills, see where you're growing, but please don't stop there. The most powerful question is the third one, the calling question. What am I building? How does even the smallest, most boring task connect to a bigger picture, a bigger purpose? And listen, I really want you to hear this. This isn't about the pressure to have it all figured out on your first day. It's not about finding that one perfect job that's going to magically give you a purpose. It's a process. It's about building your identity slowly, piece by piece, one stone at a time. This whole journey of finding meaning, it really all comes back to one of the oldest and wisest pieces of advice out there. Know thyself. Your purpose isn't some treasure you have to find out in the world. It's something you uncover deep inside yourself. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Your work, whatever it is so much more than a job title or a list of tasks. It's an opportunity. The real question isn't what you're doing, but why you're doing it. So ask yourself, what cathedral are you building?